Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Halloween has ended and the club has moved on from spooky month, and it's November, you know, the month of football, the month of turkey, the month of Noirvember.
That's such a horrible setup.
For those of you who don't know, for the past, I don't know, we've only done this like 2 years now, 3 years now.
So. I think we actually started with it.
Maybe.
Anyways,
for some amount of time, we've done noir film reviews for the month of November. This month we have 3 coming up for you guys. I'll share with you the first 2 though. Today we're going to be talking about Double Indemnity. This is kind of an iconic film. I had never seen it before, so all of these are first watches for me actually. And then next week, if you want to go ahead and prepare yourself, we are watching Night of the Hunter, which is another very iconic noir film. I think previously we did some kind of random, maybe smaller noir films. And then our third one will be something a little bit more modern. We'll announce that later though. But yeah, today we're talking about Double Indemnity. Let's hear that log line, Daniel.
All right, guys. So this movie came out in 1944. An insurance representative is seduced by a dissatisfied housewife into a scheme of insurance fraud and murder that arouses the suspicion of his colleague, a claims investigator.
Aroused more than my suspicion.
Okay.
Okay, for those of you who don't know what noir is, do you want to do a definition, Daniel?
I don't have a specific definition. It is kind of like a style, mainly when it comes to cinematography. There's very stylistic ways to do noir, and then
visually there's a very clear visual style. Black and white and shadowy is one of the ways. I think
that's the most obvious thing when it comes to noir films. But then in terms of story, it always kind of narrows itself down to a crime thriller. You're more in the mind of the protagonist rather than experiencing what the journey is with the protagonist. It becomes
fatalistic often.
Say again.
Kind of has a fatalistic vibe often, where it's no matter what the characters do, they're screwed. I don't know. Not all of them have that, but most of them do.
It's more. It's kind of like the meme where it's always the rainy days, and then the fedora on the hat. Where did I go wrong? The Michael Scarn movie, Threat Level Midnight from The Office, that. Yeah, that literally plays on the. If you're confused of what noir is, that's kind of an idea.
That's a good explanation. Usually you have either the villain, the criminal, as the main character, or a detective is often not always, but there's usually a femme fatale, which is a seductress of a character usually, who may be a good person or a bad person, but usually she brings our hero into bad circumstances is kind of the vibe.
It's kind of a manipulative thing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in this movie, Double Indemnity has probably one of the most evil femme fatales I've seen in a minute, which I actually really like that character. But do you want to jump into our likes and dislikes?
Yeah. So for this one, right, I think...
I'm drinking out of my Casablanca cup today.
Oh, what? I didn't even get a drink. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Canada Dry mixed with iced tea.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Not that crazy.
So a couple of things here. I think with this movie, it does... I mean, it's a 1940s movie, so it is deep embedded of noir film. The style of it, the classic smoke looks and whatnot. Those all play a really cool role in this. And to be fair, I've been watching a lot more older movies this season. Well, I guess last season and this season, but this past year. And... I've been really enjoying it. So once I saw, because I normally let Carson pick this category because I just don't really care about noir films. I was really excited that they were older movies just because I like the world a little bit more. It seems like things are more plain in dialogue when we get to this era, which I like. The themes that I really liked in this movie were kind of more of there's these two I guess, bigger themes of greed and desire here between what the wife wants and what the what is his name?
Great
Walter.
question. He has a stupid last name. Sorry, no offense.
Neff. Walter Neff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Walter Neff. That's right. And then we have Barton Keyes, his partner or coworker.
Yeah, and so like there's
Phyllis.
like every decision in this movie kind of feels transactional, and so that's kind of where it is. It's a really well played out film, but I can't say that I loved it much more than like these certain things that like the storytelling of it is really cool. I like
the style of the storytelling, but what takes you out of it? Is it just the age at this one?
Well, do you feel
the age more? Go ahead.
Do you want me to get into it? Okay.
Yeah, let's be lucid.
Well,
fluid, not lucid.
I think for me, it was mainly the female character. It just kind of feels like
femme fatale.
Yeah,
Phyllis. No,
it does feel it's just purely manipulative at this point, and like it's kind of a classic trope that noir films always fall into. And then the biggest one for me was that it feels like a very heavy-handed stage play. Just fair. With a lot of narration in it. That's kind of where, and like I get it, we're kind of coming, like film is still kind of new in this time. Like we're not getting that many. I mean, come on, like
it's progressing, it's evolving at this time period.
Yes, but there's still a heavy, like stage presence or stage idea of in these films, and so with that, those were my biggest ones. Also, the relationship and the chemistry feels a little bit rushed to me in these films. Like it didn't have enough time to play out.
Yeah. Baby. Like he goes, I love you, baby.
Literally. So for me, it kind of has like a Gone Girl style to it, like, or a Gone Girl like narrative.
That's a neo-noir, probably. I don't know.
Probably actually, yeah. But at the end of the day, this movie, it didn't seem like it played out the things that I needed it to. But at the same time, like I almost wanted more in that. But at the same time, it felt extremely long because of the long narrations that are in this movie.
The movie is long. I think it's a bit longer of a film, isn't it?
Well, it's only an hour 45.
Oh, I lied. It's not that long. It does feel long. I think the setup, because it's so convoluted, it feels so long. Yeah. And I do like the setup. It's just I wish that setup was maybe establishing this affair that's going on. Or even there's a twist with Phyllis where you find out some stuff about her past that I kind of wish maybe that was established earlier in the film. I think that would add some better tension. So I think the tension of it could have been better.
Yeah.
But like Daniel was saying, stylistically, this movie is really cool. I don't know if it's my favorite noir film visually compared to some other ones, especially one we're talking about next week. But yeah, overall, I think it's really great. I do like the ending. I think noir films always save it at the end for me. If I get lost at all, and the ending is just like, it gives you that bittersweet feeling that like a Twilight Zone episode gives you, where you're like, oh, everything's messed up, and like, but there's no other way this could have ended. I love that feeling. Yeah. Like, you know, it's destined to that kind of thing. So I think when you get there, it's just kind of fun. I do have some fun background on this movie. So this was directed by Wilder or Wilder. I'm gonna get corrected in the comments again, so that's cool. Comment down below. How do you say it? I think it's Wilder, but anyways.
Yeah, I think so too.
Him and his writing partner, Charles Brackett, were working on this film. This is during the Hays Code. For those of you that don't know this, long story short, there was rules that you had to follow back in the day where you couldn't really show a lot of things on screen. So like deaths were off screen. You had to kind of hint at sexual content instead of showing it. So very different than it is nowadays. I think we just show everything and there's no subtlety at all. In these movies, I think it honestly almost feels more graphic when it's not, because of the hint. Like can be more intense, I guess, in some ways. And this film does a great job of that. But as they're, this is adapted from a book, so they're writing it. And apparently, Charles Brackett, the screenwriter, was kind of like a recovering alcoholic, and apparently the pressures from making this movie got to him, and he relapsed completely, and he was like a terror to work with. And then Billy ended up making his next film about a writer who was an alcoholic, which I just think that's crazy, like dynamic. I feel like if Daniel and I were working together on a film and I made him, turn to alcohol again because of how horrible the set was. But yeah, super interesting. And I think with the Hays Code and stuff like that, it actually does help create the style of noir in some ways. Like the ambiguity is created by these restrictions, and then also just the restrictions of the time. Like shooting on black and white film was a cheap way to make a movie, right? It was cheaper to shoot on black and white than color most of the time. So and then using like harsh lighting in black and white, that's also something that's super common, but it creates that cool look. So all that is on full fire here. I also just really do enjoy this story overall. I don't know much about insurance fraud, but I think he could have got away with it maybe. I do like the dynamic with his friend too. I kind of maybe wish we got a little bit more of that relationship.
Yeah.
And then also the daughter. I think that storyline was there's like all these little threads that I really liked. I just don't think they were fully tugged on.
Right, and that's kind of the nice. That's kind of like the like, I guess the trope of femme fatales is like we get so much more of one, which to me it almost feels forced. And I get it, like it's a part of the bigger, broader story. But like in terms of character development and just like even splicing up the pacing of a movie, I don't know. I feel like there could be less.
I will say Barbara Stanwyck.
Yes.
Great actress.
Oh my gosh.
She did great in this. She's worked with some really cool directors though. I saw that she worked with Cecil DeMille, which is crazy, and Fritz Lang and Frank Capra, so like all the like classic film directors. So
yeah,
pretty cool. She's still alive.
Wow.
She lives in Santa Monica. We should meet her.
We should go probably like shake her hand.
Barbara, you want to be on our podcast? She dies immediately.
That would be insane. Could you imagine if we get somebody from a classic movie to be on our podcast?
Oh, we should try.
Numbers. We should. I'm down. By the way, you owe me $750 for Opus. All right, guys. So that
broke.
So that is Double Indemnity. I believe it's on.
I watched this on Prime.
Yeah.
But if you don't have Prime, fun fact: a lot of these older films you can get on the Internet Archive for free. Because that's how I started watching it before I realized it was on Prime. And the transfer is just as good, to be honest. I know there's like probably 4K special editions of all of these films, but
dude, it like looked good on Prime.
It looks great.
I was actually
highly recommend
surprised. Surprised.
I was surprised.
Anyway, surprised. All right, guys. Well, that is the first movie of Noirvember. We have 2 more movies coming up, and then we're gonna do another real versus real.
Ooh, what's that?
We're not announcing. Yeah, well, we're not announcing yet. First real versus real of the season. So we're gonna dive in deep to this. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go check out our last series, which was 31 Days of Halloween. It was crazy. Still recovering, but Carson wants to do more in December, so we're gonna figure that out.
It's happening.
And if you haven't yet, go follow us on our socials, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, subscribe, give us 5 stars wherever you can find a podcast, and be kind, rewind, and we will see you next week for another episode. Peace.